Hello and welcome back. This is a narrated walkthrough of what I do to warm up my hips and lower body prior to doing hand balance work. This can also be used for tumbling or any other gymnastics work. And this is one of about 3 different types of warm-ups that I do for this area. We're going to start out with one leg back. Your hands either going to be up, to the side, or up here. Pick one, just don't have them relaxed by your side. Pick a spot to use the mat, and this will also help warm up your shoulders. So I'm going to go ahead and swing my back leg up, straight line, dynamic stretching. You go as high as you can while feeling a light stretch underneath your hamstring. I'm going to do about 8 to 10 of these, and you can even go up to as high as 20 of them. I go from the side here. You can see how high I'm kicking. All right, and if I feel comfortable, I can kick a lot higher, but the goal is not to compensate with your bottom leg and bending it to get your height, keeping your back upright. If you have to tuck the hips a little, it's okay. You're just warming up. Let's do the other side. Front swing of the leg, front lift. And yes, this can be a little difficult if you're a little stiffer, but I guarantee you, keep this up in the morning and you will start to get better at this. Keep the legs straight in front too. Keep the knees straight, keep the legs straight. Okay? Whole time. Kicking to the side now. I have my arms out. For this one, I'm going to face sideways so you can see where exactly I'm kicking. I turn my feet outward. They can be forward, that's okay, but I usually turn them outward. And then just make sure your foot isn't turned inward in the front. Keep it neutral, forward, parallel, or slightly turned out to the side. So from this position, I'm going to be swinging my back leg up, but it's behind the other one. Both my arms are out to the side. I sometimes make this kind of a high V position, where my arms are up above me, like that, as a goal to kick with my hands. We're going to start low though, because it's our first warm-up. So lifting up the leg, try to hit your hand, again with straight legs. And if you're feeling strong in this position, you can bring it higher and higher. This happens to be one of my stronger positions, so I can kick pretty high in this position. Switching my legs. Okay, so we did about 8 to 10 of those, up to 20. Next one. So sometimes your hip will pop when doing this, and usually that can either mean that maybe it's in a position that it's not used to being in, or that, that's basically it. It's in a position it's not used to being in. And that's okay, but I try to go around that area. So if I feel it popping, I'll adjust where I'm kicking. Maybe I have to lift a little bit more with the bottom of my hamstring as I come down. And those kind of things tend to alleviate it, but I don't just keep trying to grind and crack the whole time. I find that to be, one, it doesn't feel that great on your mind, and 2, it's a little bit, it can cause some inflammation. So next one, you can use a chair, or you can stand. I'm going to show you both. Stand in the chair or stand. Grab and hold the chair right here. I'm going to lift my back leg straight up behind me. And again, keeping the leg as straight as I can. And I can tilt forward as much as I want. I can lay down this way. It might just be here for you. That's okay. We want to get it up as high as possible. If I was to face backward, I might have a little bit of kick going this way, but I'm trying to go straight up. I'm trying to go straight up. I'm trying not to tilt my hips backward. I'm trying to keep them. So I'm trying to avoid this position, crossing over. I want to go straight up as much as I can. Other side, up, 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 as high as I can. You can do that without the chair, just by standing in place, lean forward a little bit, and swing upward. Up, up. It requires a little more balance, but does the same thing we want. You can even use a wall back here, lifting the back leg up. Okay? There's lots of different ways to find your stability. So that's the dynamic stretching. There's a couple others too, but we're going to start with those. Leg lifting straight up, legs out to the side, and legs to the back. After that, we're going to take a seat and go do some hip work. Seated position here. Okay, and I'm going to take this bear sit position that we've learned this from the functional range conditioning gurus. Okay, so from here, what I'm going to do is I want my legs in a big square position like that. Okay, my feet are turned out with the legs themselves, and then I'm going to put a little bit of pressure upward with my knees, my thighs, into my arms, just a little bit. Okay, so I'm pushing up a little bit like that, getting a little bit of activation inside in the middle here. Go to the outside and I pull down a little bit. This isn't super hard either. I'm just starting it out. We're getting warmed up. And as I do that a few times in a row, then I'm going to start increasing the intensity on the front and the back area. And then I'm going to take my hands off. I'm going to close, keep my heels where they are, all the way in. Try to touch the knees together, and all the way out, squeezing. You can add some resistance to this, just squeezing the muscles tighter as you're going through this, warming up everything, and outward. Okay, about 3 to 5 times there. Now we're going to go into a rotation. So we're going to end up in a 90-90 position. That means 90 degrees, 90 degrees. I'll be twisting this way first. I'm going to place one hand on the top of this thigh and one hand at the bottom of this knee. Hello, not right now, thank you. And from there, I'm going to turn into this position while having resistance. So I'm using my arms to add resistance to this. So I'm pulling down with this one stays behind, and I'm adding resistance by pulling away and twisting my body into this 90-90 position. So I have a 90-degree angle here, 90-degree angle here. Okay, and then from there, I try to come off with my arms, come down to my front leg if I can. I can use my hands if I need to, if I don't have the muscular support to help me out there. All right, I come down here, I come back up, I turn toward my front leg, and I reach toward it as best I can. Okay, squeezing down. And then from there, hand in hand, I lift that knee up first, I keep this other one down, and then when my mobility doesn't allow the leg to stay down anymore, it joins the fun. So then it comes over, we go to the other side now, down to the middle, 90-90, from there, down, back up, turn, forward, as much as you can. This is a lot harder for a lot of people going this direction because the hip capsule gets in the way. You shouldn't feel a pinch in here. You should feel a light stretch on the inside of the capsule. And it takes a little while to get used to that. Let's go back the other way. I go through this about 3 or 4 times. Okay, adding resistance the whole way. Down, here, up, here, replace, leg opens, leg pulls to the other side, going down, up, turn, reach, reach, squeeze that back glute if you want, and then again this way. And obviously we've gone through this in some detail in person. If we haven't, let's make sure to do so next lesson. Down to here, down, up, turn, forward, and last time do the other side, to the middle, adding resistance, 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 to the floor, down, up, here, and forward. Okay, that's the end of that one. Let's get back up again. Okay, for this next one, you will need to wear some socks. Okay, some socks right here. You're gonna have to be on a slick surface. If you don't have a slick surface, you can do this on carpet with sliders, okay, furniture sliders. And if you have trouble with the flexibility in this part of it, you can always use yoga blocks or parallettes to give you a little more leverage into the things we're going to be doing. But this next one is really something you can turn into your own style of flexibility, because there really is no right or wrong order to do this in. Okay, I'm just going to show you the concepts I use for how I do it. So I'm going to put these away. Ideally, you could use them in the middle, anywhere you want, for support where you have trouble touching the floor with your hands. But I don't have trouble with that, so I'm not going to use them right there. All right, I'm going to start at a slight angle this way. Both my hands are going to be flat. And you can do your wrist warm-up, shoulder warm-up prior to this as well. I find that makes this a little bit easier for people to do it because you are on your hands quite a lot. So from here, I'm actually going to start in a straight leg position. If you don't have the straight leg position yet, just use your yoga blocks, place them down so you can reach down to the floor. Okay, but I'm going to start here. And from here, I put all the weight into my arms, so I feel the weight shift out of my hands, and then I start to spread them open, my legs open, and I come down as far as I can. And the first one is never really as far as you want it to be. So from here, I come back up, I bend my knees, and from here, I try to push backward, back position right there. I come down, little stretch up. Again, this is my order of things. You're going to have to find your order of things. From here, I press back up, and then legs come to the outside. Back this way, and I pull them back in to a pike shape. From here, I like to extend one leg up to the sky as high as I can get it. And if I feel like I've got that in a good position and I'm balanced, I reach for my bottom leg. This is one of Steve Atlas's stretches he uses in his DVDs, to here. And then back down, switch to the other side. And if I'm feeling really confident today, and this balance feels really strong, I can take off my support hand and focus on just that one leg balance. From there, coming back down, and I can go through the process again. So both hands are down, legs open. That was my ankle. Getting a little bit lower now. Come back up. And now I'm going to take it to the front. So from this position, as I'm back here, I'm going to come through the legs, the arms are going to come through, legs are going to come through the arms to the front, and I do a forward fold. Breathe in, exhale. Breathe in, come up. Exhale, go down. Breathe in, come up. Exhale, go down. One more time, breathe in. Exhale. The point of the breathing, okay? Once you get into a stretch position, try to get some deep breaths in because it stretches you from the inside. As your diaphragm expands, it's going to stretch from the inside, okay? And if you're constantly holding tension and not allowing yourself to breathe through that, it doesn't open up those areas. There's a time when you do want to squeeze really hard and not to breathe from this diaphragm, but this isn't one of those times right now, okay? So from here, I get down to my position. Okay, I breathe in, breathe out, and back up again. From here, I'm going to go into a seated straddle position. This is as far as I'm going to go right now, or that I feel I can go with my own mobility at the moment. Reaching down and forward. I'm going to take a few breaths here. Deep breath in. Exhale, reach forward. I can go over the top to one side. Deep breath in. Reach. Other side. And remember, these aren't the ones you necessarily have to do. These are some of the ones I go through. I'm just showing you what I've done. And it's basically when you feel like you've taken it as far as you can, that's for you. Okay, I sometimes will spend about 10, 15, 20 minutes going through these. Okay, as much as 30 sometimes. I'll set a clock for 30 minutes and go through all of these. I'll use my hands, push my slides out a little farther, reach a little more further forward. Come back this way, bring my legs back together. And there's lots of different ways I can get back to the other way, back to the back, but here's one way for you to start working your front split. So I can lean to one side, bring that leg to the back. This might be the time for you to use your yoga blocks to help you out here. Okay, as you push yourself up into a front split position. And you can work both the turned out position in the back of the leg and the forward one. Just depends on what you feel is good for you. From here I can keep my hands down and press myself back up to the top, and I can go to the other side. Focusing on straight legs when I can, or if I have to put my knee down, I have to. Turn the back leg out, forward, bring it back up to the top. And you can see now after doing that, all right, I've already opened up quite a lot in my hips. So from here, I go down. That's a bit lower than when I started. Okay? All right, so that's ideally what I would go through prior to doing some of my hand balancing work, because I can get into better positions in my handstand. It also helps a lot with press handstand work as well. So